Okay. You think you got it?
I was a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz when I was like 8. And the coroner.
Ooh.
Yeah, I glued a mustache on my face.
Awesome.
I cried though when they had to peel it off. Okay. I don't hold that.
Don't hold it.
Okay. I won't bogart the mic.
Because we're already rolling, so I wanted to get
we
that.
are?
I missed that
Jesus.
munchkin story.
The mustache. You got the mustache.
The mustache?
Fuck. Okay, I won't swear. Sorry.
Got the fuck.
All right. We are rolling. Okay.
No swearing.
Hey, it's Thomas Moretti from CoolCleveland.com, and we are here at AXPONA 2023 with Kat Ourlian. Yeah. From Upscale Audio.
Yes.
Thank you for talking today.
Thank you for having me.
You, I understand, are the vinyl queen. Is there something to this?
I do love me some vinyl. I put together a lot of the turntables for Upscale. I do have another half that does that as well, but I like to do time lapses. I like to get people really involved with what's going on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to put you on the spot and ask you for a favorite thing, but no, you guys carry a lot of brands, right? A lot of good brands.
A lot of good brands. I'm like all about synergy though, because there isn't really one right or wrong. I mean, there's some spec matching and stuff, but honestly, it's personality and synergy. I like to just get to know my people and then figure out where they're going with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, talking about getting to know, wanted to talk about diversity. That's our sort of topic du jour.
Yep.
And the lack thereof, maybe in the high-end audio and music industry as well.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would have some thoughts on that topic.
It is interesting because I have been in both worlds. So like way back when I was working out of a recording studio in New York City, I'd often be setting up the system and then my clients would walk in and they'd be like, "Where's the engineer?" And I'm like, "Hey," and I have to, there's like this hesitation like, "Oh." But you kind of just gain trust and get past that barrier and just know that, maybe people didn't understand necessarily, their vibe or what they were giving to me, and once they get to know me and hear the work and stuff, then it kind of speaks for itself. But
you've had to fight a little harder, and you've had some barriers that you don't think men would have had.
I mean, I call it gaining trust. It's almost like people don't trust me right off the bat for some reason, which is a little bizarre.
You're saying you, or because you're a woman, do you
Because
think?
I'm a woman, yeah. Like me specifically, and then being young, I do oftentimes, and being in probably specializing in one of the oldest technologies. Like they're like, "Well, before you were born, this was happening," and I'm like, "But did you know?" So yeah, it's a learning curve.
And the fact is, you know more than a lot of these men, correct?
Yes. The confident part of me wants to be like, hell yeah, but the other side of me is like, I'm always learning.
Right,
so.
And you learned a lot, I understand, from your father. Is that how this sort of...
My parents have 110% always supported me and music. When I was 3, they were like, pick an instrument, you're going to learn it, and you're going to play it. And I picked up violin. I don't know why I picked that. I had a great uncle that played, but I studied Suzuki and played classical music for a very long time, and now I'll just jam out on whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but that was to my parents. My father's a really good engineer, and my mother's an urban planner in Detroit, and they just love and thrive off of art and technology.
So the love of music, art, technology, and the confidence to feel comfortable going into this field.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My mom was like, if you don't know something, you have to read about it and read about it and read about it until you know everything. And so like that kind of put me on the spot as a person to just learn.
So then let me ask this. If you had some suggestions, if you could snap your fingers and change this situation, do that again. Yes, exactly. And make a change here and help correct this sort of imbalance, this wrong approach that people are taking. It's not that simple, okay? But I am asking you because you may have thought about this from a whole different perspective than a lot of men who maybe want to make change, but they don't know. They haven't been through what you've been through, so they don't know what to do. And maybe you are bursting with ideas like, hey, dude, maybe just treat me like everyone else, or maybe just give me the benefit of the doubt, or maybe a little more training. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but...
This is very interesting because I do want to do that right off the bat. I feel like once people actually get to know someone, like I want to be able to provide everything to them I don't know. I'm trying to like word this in a way where I'm not going to correct someone. That's just not my personality. But what I will do is give them the opening to know me, and then they'll be like, oh shit, you know, this is cool. I don't know why I didn't, you know, approach it in a positive manner or in a constructive manner. So I feel like open is a word that comes to mind. I would really like if, you know, a woman's walking into the room, you just don't know who anyone is when someone's walking into the room. So like put off that judgment and just be open. Whatever it is. Yeah.
So you've had to really give people a lot of extra space that maybe other people don't have to give them. You've had to give them a lot of benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't want to challenge people. You're giving them the time and space.
Space is space is a good word for it because, I'll get to know them. I hear what you're saying, and whether it's offensive or not, I kind of turn it into a neutral manner and give them that information and let them sort of stew on that, and then be like, oh, I want to talk to this person. I want to get to know them. Why was I thinking they didn't know shit about vinyl? Right?
She really knows more than I do. Yeah.
I was a really young tape splicer. When I first moved to New York City, my very first job was tape operator. I've never sweat so much in my entire life. Then doing a tape punch-in. Are you kidding me? Don't ever. I'll do it again, though.
So as you have grown and as you have sort of evolved, is there any suggestions you would have for the rest of the world in terms of, hey, like, this is what works, this is the approach, this is what we do, maybe you all could do it this way?
I love that. First of all, I love meeting ladies in the industry because we just we gravitate, we need to know each other.
Yep.
That's that. I need to solidify that. But second of all, my mindset coming into this AXPONA, we're kind of doing a new thing where we're playing a room. Upscale Audio usually doesn't play any music. We have a static display because we like to teach people about the gear. But this room I wanted to make cool. I picked out all the vinyl. I picked random brands to put together because, again, it was synergy in what we were doing. So I just I want people to be super open to music and different angles and what's going on, and I think everyone's leaving very happy and having a new perspective on everything, I guess. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I have some interesting stories from my perspective that I've seen.
Sure.
Where I've just sort of been and I've had to say something or whatever when just people aren't treating each other right.
Yeah.
Do you have any that you are comfortable sharing? You don't have to mention names or companies or anything, but situations where you felt like, hey, treat me like a human being here.
Well, it's funny because there was a client that called, and I was just talking to him about cartridges and turntables, and he was like, do you know the difference between a moving magnet and a moving coil? And I was like, oh, can someone else talk to this person? I can't right now. And I was like, yes, I do. And I started just explaining a lot of stuff to him, and he did actually end up getting a table from us, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what happened from that situation, but it did make me very uncomfortable. It kind of tripped me up a little bit, and I don't know why you would say that to someone. You could just form it in a different way. Look, if you don't know, form it in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Come from a perspective of non-judgment, right? And maybe just ask it in a broader sense. Hey, can I be talking to an analog specialist? Or, hey, how experienced are you with the... Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Like you would with anyone else,
Ask
right?
questions. Don't shun me. Ask questions.
Right. Kat, thank you so much for taking a few moments here and baring your soul a little bit. We really appreciate that.
It was wonderful to meet you. I feel really blessed to have this opportunity. And I want more younger people in the hi-fi industry. It's super important to carry this on.
We do. I mean, I see it. That's why we're having these conversations.
No, I
and
appreciate
it's
this.
long-term viability of the industry. It seems like it's necessary here. So
We are the children of the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
that's a mic drop. Thank you, Kat. Thanks for taking a few moments. You were so awesome. You're going to love it on playback. You are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from Cool Cleveland. We're here at AXPONA 2023.